Hi, I'm Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life. I talked to acclaimed director and executive producer Roland Emmerich.
When I saw the first race, I was like giddy.
Actor Ewan Ryan.
For an actor, that's a dream, although you do get a lot of sand in your sandals.
And so many more.
You helped summon those ghosts back onto that stage.
Every day when I went to set, I was giggling about what I saw.
I think it's going to be a breathtaking thing.
People will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
With your long-forgotten name, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
In the words of the unspeakable language, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
By the spilt blood of the wicked, who walk upon this world, sprouting the words of false idols, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
On the land of the dead harvest, that which brings the earth itself into your service, Yamal, we call upon you.
We call upon you. We call upon you. We call upon you.
Yamal calls upon you.
The Sprouting, a Call of Cthulhu actual play podcast by Blighthouse Studio. Find us on your podcatcher of choice.
Welcome back to Angel on Top, a podcast where we watch and discuss every episode of Angel, one by one, spoiler-free, and in tandem with no one. Everything has changed. We're all alone. I'm your co-host, LaToya Ferguson, a.k.a. the comatose Chase of the Buffering Verse, a.k.a. one half of the Gun Squad. Bang, bang goes the judge. Watch yourself, counselor. A.k.a. the Gilbert to Morgan Sullivan, a.k.a. Daddy, even if no one can remember that, a.k.a. Captain Forehead, a.k.a. even more annoying new nicknames to come.
And I'm your co-host, Morgan Lutich, a.k.a. the Winifred Burkle of the Buffering Verse, a.k.a. the other half of the Gun Squad. Bang, bang, I object. I'll allow it. A.k.a. the Sullivan to LaToya's Gilbert, a.k.a. Mommy? A.k.a. William Bloody, a.k.a. even more annoying new nicknames to come.
And this week, we're watching Angel Season 5, Episode 2, Just Rewards, written by David Fury and Ben Edlund, with story by David Fury, and directed by James A. Contner. It aired on the WB on October 8th, 2003.
And this is the one where Team Angel pisses off a Wolfram and Hart client who happens to be a necromancer, just as they're trying to figure out how exactly Spike came to be here.
Previously on Angel, we got Angel in the alley in the season 5 premiere. He's saving the latest Tina. She's like, you run a law firm? Well, just lately, Wes is asking Fred, why on earth are we here? And then Fred's telling us why they're here. A lot of telling the status quo. Angel says we're turning this place inside out. They show Lorne doing a business call for some reason. It does not come into play because he has nothing to do in this episode. Yeah. Harmony is Angel's secretary. Fred's lab is giganimous. Eve asks Gunn if he's ready for the next step. He gets the box technology from Batman Forever. Gunn's a lawyer now. And we're going to change things from within with Wolfram and Hart as our weapon. Angel opens his mail. Here's Spikey. Only they say, only have Angel and Wes saying Spike and not Blondie Bear. How dare you?
Rude. So, we begin at the Hellmouth. It's only been 19 days since the finale. So, in a way, we were just in New York. Just like how we were just in New York, like they were just doing the finale.
Yeah, it's just like that.
And so we see Spike blow up. We see him hold hands with Buffy briefly. He wants to see how it ends. Kaboom. We pick up in Angel's office, and everyone's like, what the hell? Like, how is this possible? And Angel says, but you're dead. And Harmony goes, yeah, well, who isn't? Except for him and her. And very cute Harmony, very fun stuff.
One of my first notes, and to tell you how this episode's going to go, is that Spike made a grand sacrifice that meant nothing.
Sucks. Yeah, let's talk about that right up top here. Like, it takes away the power of it a lot, don't you think?
I do think this, yes.
Yeah.
And considering my issues with a lot of the writing with Spike's face turn in season 7, and they bring some of that stuff up, but it's like we can just joke about it. It doesn't help. So he did the big hero thing, and now he's back.
It's very, very Glee. If we make a joke about it, it doesn't matter. And we talked a little bit last week, which I really liked, about sometimes I think character changes or like slight small retcons or things can serve your actor or serve your story. Like we talk about like Gunn getting the law put in his head for this show. Do we entirely buy the attitudes that Gunn was saying he had towards his past life? Maybe not entirely, but because J. August Richards seems so happy and comfortable like doing the legal jargon, there's a pro to be had there. But I don't understand, like, I guess the pro is Spike's presence, which I agree, he's fun, but he doesn't feel like he belongs here to me.
It's the opposite of how we talk about how Faith belongs on the show Angel, and her character is possibly better served overall for being on Angel. And you could say that her arc in season 4 of Angel and then hopping into season 7 of Buffy, it's kind of like, oh, were you just not watching what's been going on with her?
Yeah, it's a bummer, and we'll talk about it as we go on, but I thought it'd be good to get our thoughts out there. So Spike, we start off with him attacking Angel, only to find out that he is incorporeal. I learned the word corporeal from this. I remember being 15 and really being like, I now fully understand this word. This was not a word I knew about, and now I really know it.
I didn't know this word. No one was saying this word out in the streets.
No.
And then they were saying it all the time on Angel, so.
Yes. So if there's one thing I want to thank season 5 of Angel for, thanks for teaching me the word corporeal.
I use it all the time now.
I do use it more than I would have assumed that I would. And so he's standing in the middle of the desk. He feels stupid. Classic Whedon anticlimax. And yeah.
I think I like that he's so confused by like the very few recognizable faces he knows.
Yeah.
Like, and the ones he doesn't, because he doesn't know Lauren, obviously. And that's, we know how jarring it is to see Lauren for the first time. Doesn't know Fred, doesn't know Wes. Like, Wes knows of him. But when he came to LA in season 1, it was Doyle era. And he wasn't around when Wes was buffooning around in Sunnydale.
Yeah, he missed sexy Wes. So this is someone who only knows Wes post-nerd. Like, I mean, obviously we know he's still a nerd, but he is not quite like at maximum dweeb anymore.
He only knows the Wes who would like try to shoot someone in broad daylight at a courthouse.
Yeah, so maybe like let's watch Spike and see if maybe he has some different attitudes towards Wes now that he's only met him as a cool guy.
And Gunn at least knows who Spike is, whereas Fred doesn't. And I'm like, I know Angel likes to regale them with his stories, so obviously like Gunn's heard the story. But you're telling me Fred, especially during her hero worship of Angel, wasn't learning about Spike?
I guess not, or maybe like she forgot. I get, maybe if you're really smart and all of your brain is taken up by like science, you don't remember stuff from stories people tell you. I don't have a brain like that, so I'm not sure.
Spike's one of the worst vampires ever recorded, second only to Angel. A.K. William Bloody. We said that.
A.K. William Bloody. Drives me absolutely insane. We go to titles. The titles this season, it's so much new footage. Like, it again, which gives me the vibe, like, we disavow the Angel of before. This is a new thing that I don't particularly like. We resume. We're back in Angel's office. Spike would like to know what's happening to him, which I agree, perfectly reasonable question. The science is telling us it's like he's a ghost. They're like, it seems like he's a ghost. And Spike's like, I don't want to be a ghost. I'm not a ghost. I don't like that shit. Fair enough.
Wes is looking at the amulet, and wasn't the amulet like yellow before, and now it's clear? Is that part of it?
All its juice got used, I guess. Or are we just thinking of the Vampire Diaries orange amulet that David Salvatore is wants? It's impossible to tell.
Let me check real quick just to make sure that I'm not imagining things. No, I guess it was clear. Maybe I'm thinking this is season 7 picture. I guess it was clear.
Fair enough.
I guess I am just conflating my dummies.
It's hard. We have so many stupid boys we're looking after. It's quite hard to keep it all straight. So this is where Harmony starts yelling at Spike because Spike, sasses her. And she's like, you can't talk to me like that. We're not going out anymore. Baby girl, get him. Get his ass.
He was a terrible, terrible boyfriend.
He is.
And also, she gets the confirmation that, he and Buffy did have a thing after his freaky obsession.
Mm-hmm. Which she's, disgusted by. Wes is like, I guess this is all the necklace is doing. This is where Buffy comes up. Spike's like, where is she? Oh my God. It's like, okay, thirsty much? Try to play it a little laid back, pal. And Angel's like, well, she's in Europe, last I heard. And Spike's like, I want to go to there.
Yeah. He said, last I heard from her, I'm like, so it's been 19 days. When was the last time you heard from her? Did she call right after? Or when did she call after all that chaos?
What I'm so worried about is that she did not call and that someone else called.
He does say last I heard from her.
He does say it. Okay, thank God. So there was a little phone chat with them. Oh my God. Do you think Angel
and she did tell him Spike died too, so yeah.
Do you think Angel was moving out of the Hyperion and got a call there and he had a big box of his stuff and just talked to Buffy for a little bit on the phone and felt like a big goof and is wistful and beautiful? Do you think?
I'm sorry, I'm about to go into a rant.
Fair. You want to go?
Okay, so Spike says, you can't keep me from her, and Angel says, she's not mine to keep, or yours. Mm-hmm. To which Spike says you.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what we had. And I read my notes, and so it begins. Even though we have the finale of Buffy, and they cut that part out, acknowledging she doesn't even love him, and he acknowledges that, and he's fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
Angel says, you never had her. Spike says, more than you Ponzi, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Number 1, we know that I do not ship Buffy or Angel post Buffy season 3.
We do not.
Number 2, I do not ship BS as I have Buffy and Spike. I did put BA for Buffy and Angel, but then I was like, let me be a little dick.
BS, baby.
3, she clearly doesn't want Angel as she's off in Europe and he's uncomfortably saying last I heard from her. 4, she doesn't want Spike as he even acknowledged it in Chosen.
Mm-hmm.
5, I love Petty Angel, but that's when it's a small aspect of his personality, not the whole thing.
Yeah.
And this is the whole episode.
It's the whole thing. It's really boring to see them fighting over someone who's not there and who it doesn't seem like we're going to hear from, It's all off-screen bullshit. It's really petty, which, as we've said, can be fun. But if pettiness is the only thing that's there, it's not really that fun. I'm not interested in them relitigating the Spuffy versus Bangel debate. That's something I only want to hear queer female podcasters do. But maybe that's just me. It becomes really one-note repetitive.
It's especially as a mature adult at this point, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really do not care.
If she's not going to be there, And if she's not going to make a choice, then why are we having this conversation? Because this is about, like, this isn't about the two of you. It's about you individually and her. Like, you know, it's just dumb. So Harmony storms off, having found out about Spuffy. She says, and leaves. And I'm like, same, girl. Spike says he must be in hell. Lauren says, no, LA. But a lot of people make that mistake. At this point in my watch, I was like, I swear to God, I've heard that joke before. Not that it's like the most original joke ever told, but I was like, I really know that I've heard that. And I couldn't remember where I was from. And I was like, I guess I'll never know. And then I sat down in my podcasting chair. I looked the beautiful LaToya Ferguson in the face, and it popped right in my fucking head. That's from Dollhouse. I heard it on Dollhouse. He used it again.
How you know when Joss does his little rewrites when he's like, well, I gotta put this hack joke in. That's my calling card.
I'm so mad.
Wes is saying that Spike was an ally of Buffy's for some time. At least that's what Angel told me. That's all Angel told me. I don't think it's the way it sounds is that like Wes cares that Buffy was fucking Spike. No, it's about the whole, because the soul part has been revealed, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, at this point, so that part is important.
Yeah, and I love the little tiny, like, Fred, Gunn, and Wes huddle we get there, where they're all trying to, like, kind of iron it all out amongst each other, and Wes is giving that explanation. I'm like, oh, my friends are together.
It's like when Gunn has to explain to Fred who Darla is, and there's the flowchart.
Yes, it does. It's reminiscent of that. And Gunn's like, okay, so he's like a good vampire, like Angel. And Angel's like, he's nothing like me. I'm going to my room. And Spike's freaked out. It's not looking good. We go to the lab. It is time to do some science and try to figure out what the heck is going on. Lorne is the reason that I guess we saw that line is so we can understand why he's making this joke, which he jokes that he could totally sell like the two men loved by the Slayer story, and he pitches them as Depp and Bloom, to which I write, who is who in my notes? Also, no. It's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Wesley is microscoping the amulet.
Now
That's how science works. That's how science works.
You don't put an amulet under a microscope.
I guess he's like, it's a jewel. Maybe there's something magical in the jewel. No, that's not science. That's not a thing. Yeah, right? But yeah, Lord, again, Lord has his own little segment in the previously, which is useless.
Mm-hmm. It's just to tell you he's a showbiz guy.
How is you were also thinking about like Spike's dialogue and how it seemed like 80 art or something. How much do you think this episode is a heavy rewrite?
I don't know. Like I because of the dialogue sounding weird to me, maybe more like a fair amount like might have been changed in post, but I also do not have a great ear for sound stuff. I'm no Jill Dayfield. But it sounded like all of James's dialogue sounded 80 yard to me. Like I'd say like 70% of his dialogue sounded 80 yard to me.
The Lorne previously is the thing that gets me, because like if they cut stuff out, then you just cut that previously out.
Mm-hmm. I don't quite get it, but I guess because, it's just to tell you he's one of the gang.
Yeah, he's one of the gang, because the gang don't get their own plot in this episode. Just keep that in your mind.
Yeah.
They are sidekicks to the buddy cops.
Yeah. So we have a little moment with Spike and Fred. He calls her Scanner Girl because she's scanning him.
She introduces herself as head of Wolfram and Hart's science division. I'm like, no, you are her Angel Investigations first and foremost, first of all. But I'm like, I guess they feel like we've already explained this to the audience, so this is just the shorthand. Because, like, since 501 is, like, the repilot, 502 technically serves the episode of, like, a second episode for a series, which is, like, a pilot junior.
Yeah.
But I don't care for it. That's not who Fred is.
It's not, and the whole like macro story they're trying to tell, which is like, can you really do good from inside something bad? Which I do think is like an interesting story to be had about like, is power inherently kind of like evil and like existing power structures? Can you as a good person take them over if they have only been used to harm? But I don't buy the hard opinions on this topic that Spike is suddenly effusing. Like, he has to have the opposite view of Angel and tell Angel he's wrong because that's how the episode works. But it doesn't seem authentic to him. So it's weird to have him carry so much of the weight of like no, you can't do that story.
Part of me is like, I think it is Spike, and it seems like it's very his, tell it like it is, lovers walk bullshit. And I say bullshit nicely. Yeah. But at the same time, his jealousy, that's bullshit bad.
Yeah, he's a punk. I believe he's anti-establishment, but like, you should be able to sell that in a way that feels real. But I just also think this episode is stuffed to the gills. Like, there is not a moment of breathing room anywhere here. And
what is the point of having a two-parter if the second part is stuff like this? You did it wrong.
Don't understand. So Fred explains Angel's in charge of Wolfram and Hart now, and per Fred, Spike is not a ghost. He radiates heat, and he's like, so I'm hot, huh? She's like, all right. Per Wes, this is all the amulet's doing. The amulet came from the Hellmouth, and Fred says maybe the powers sent Spike. Like, it's destiny or something like that. And Spike does not care for that. He starts monologuing about just how angry he is to have heard that, and he goes see-through. So they're like, wait, Spike's gone? Angel describes Spike's role in saving the world as, Buffy did most of the work. He helped. I agree. Spike pops back up.
I can't take it.
You can't take it.
It's already one episode. I can't take it.
No, it's great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. We're gonna be great.
Here's the thing, and I it's after the steamer. I'm like, I like the character of Angel. I've always liked the character of Angel. I did not find him boring on Buffy the way some people are like, well, Angel was boring. Why would I watch his show? No. Spike being here seems like it's for people who don't like the character of Angel.
I totally agree. It seems, and this whole season to me feels like a season for people who don't like the show Angel.
It's like if they added a character to Buffy who exists just to not like the character of Buffy. Yes, when you added Anya and Spike in season 4, it was to fill the role of Cordelia, but not to just be like, Buffy, I'm going to take you down a peg or two every scene.
Yeah. So it's just weird, and I don't think it's as funny as I clearly everyone who was involved seemed to think it was, because I feel like this should be paying off like a slot machine, and I should just be going, oh my God, I'm drowning in laughs. And instead I'm just like, great, I'm watching two old men fight.
Fight over a 20-something girl.
Ew.
And who's more of a good vampire?
Like, shut up. So Spike pops back into existence. He blames Angel for this. He's like, the amulet was supposed to be yours. You chickened out with it. And I'm not you. He goes on to explain.
I don't give a piss about atonement or destiny. Just because I got me a soul doesn't mean I'm going to let myself be led around by...
Excuse me?
Did you just say Spike has a soul? You never said.
Didn't seem worth mentioning.
Seems to be a lot of that.
Or maybe Captain Forehead was feeling a little less special. Didn't like me crashing his exclusive club. Another vampire with a soul in the world.
You're not in the world, Casper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is where they find out that Spike has the soul. West did not know that, even though he did know he was an ally of Buffy. Mm-hmm. I guess maybe he knew about the chip or something.
Yeah.
So Spike saying, I'm not you, I don't give a piss about atonement or destiny. And I'm like, that's my problem with Ensouled Spike. His lack of giving a piss about atonement. He has a soul now. Yeah, but he doesn't give a shit about people. You could boil it down to he got his soul to get laid.
Yeah.
You could boil it. I'm not saying I'm doing that. You could boil it down. Please do not angrily tweet at me.
Do not at her. The argument absolutely could be made. Angel ends up like storming off after this, but like I agree. He even brings it up later. He's like, my problem is that you like struggled with having a soul for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And like I agree with that. Like I understand it.
And I understand
sucks.
It wouldn't have been fun in season 7 to have him do it longer. But guess what? Season 7 wasn't concerned with anyone having fun. So, oh well.
I don't remember having an overabundance of fun there.
So clearly that wasn't the problem.
I just remember a lot of speeches.
Oh, I thought you loved those, Morgan.
I do. Love a monologue. Love someone tearing into a monologue. I love a beat change. I love a little bit of business to motivate something, like opening the mail. Yeah,
exactly. You loved it at the end of 501. You're like, this is the stuff. You're like, I had issues with the episode, but now he's giving a speech. He's got the mail.
I'm at home. So Angel storms off. Spike walks out into the hallway through the wall after him. This hallway looked so much like the dollhouse set. I was having problems. You see the mailman again. And I write, like, Spike is mean. He calls Angel a sellout, which we've already established is the worst thing you can be in 2003. And Harmony like pipes up like, hey, Angel, your 3 o'clock is coming. And Angel ignores her because he's a really mean boss. Spike thinks that Wolfram and Hart are already in control, not Angel. How are you going? Like I thought you were going to run this operation from the belly of the beast, but you're being digested.
Yeah, Spike says running away again, which is what he believes happened with the amulet, which is not what happened at all. Buffy told him to give it to her. Whatever. Yeah. Nice new MO. I can see why heroes like you get rewarded with the shiny new glass and chrome. It's like already, it's like, if you're jealous of him, just say you're jealous of him.
Yeah. So jealous. So enter a Groxlar beast. We have a quick fight. Angel wins.
Spike does try to fight, actually.
He does, because he's, it's his instinct, but he can't. He remains incorporeal. And
where are the impotent jokes? Make them all the time with Angel. Now is the perfect time to make them for Spike.
This is a great time to make jokes about impotence.
Come on, you guys, you're slacking. You're slacking in 2003.
You love that shit. Call him a eunuch. So it turns out that Groxlar demon was Angel's 3 o'clock. And he's like,
Angel, look at your calendar.
I know. Angel's like, how? They eat babies, to which Harmony responds, just their heads.
Well, what are the babies supposed to do once they have no heads? Come on, Harmony, think.
That's not her job. He apparently, Gunn explains, he was supposed to open negotiations with this guy about not eating baby heads anymore.
Oops.
Yikes. And Angel's like, oh no, that would have been good.
I tell Angel to read his email, but he can't get into his email. We know this.
He cannot deliver.
He can't get into his email. Harmony can't get into her email. No one can get into email.
Someone, like IT, needs to come down and write all of his passwords on a Post-it for him.
Oh boy, just a wall Post-its.
So, Gunn is like, actually, this isn't so bad. I think the Groxlars will respect this as like a strong opening move. So he goes on to explain that like he didn't just get human laws up here. He got the demon laws, too. And he goes on to explain to Angel, like, he's actually fired, like, 40 people today, and things are getting pretty hectic around the office. Spike and Harmony have a little moment. Harmony is like, hey, trying to smooth things over. Like, I know I was yelling at you before, but, like, maybe, like, we can talk. And Spike just walks away from her without even giving her, like, a look. I'm supposed to like this man? And she calls him a Slayer-loving freak.
Which he is.
He is.
I mean, he is.
Dang-ass fucking Slayer-loving freak. Then in Gunn's office, Gunn talking more about the firings he's been doing. Someone made a voodoo doll of him. I wish we could sell those. Little Charles Gunn voodoo doll for you to
little
kiss
money
and
monster.
hug. I just want to have one. Spike pops in just as Gunn is like saying like, you're gonna have backlash everywhere, like throughout the company. Then Novak comes in. He's a lawyer at Wolfram and Hart.
He's a greasy-ass lawyer.
Yeah, he is upset. He is a greasy liar, as Prue Hallowell would say. And, like, he's mad about them closing the grave robbing division. Apparently the main issue there is that Wolfram and Hart gives fresh dead bodies to Magnus Hainsley, one of Wolfram and Hart's oldest clients. And he's going to be pretty upset if those stop coming. Angel is like, let Hainsley know he's no longer a client then. Like, we're not giving him dead bodies anymore, and I'm not dealing with dudes who want dead bodies.
Do they not know a name for a sorcerer other than Magnus? Because Magnus Bryce, Virginia's father, also.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. Come on, people.
Embarrassing.
There are other sorcerer names besides Magnus.
Come on.
Lester.
Merlin. Teddy. Teddy the sorcerer? Cute.
Demetrius.
Ooh. I love it. Spike heckles some more and leaves. Then Angel, in his office that night, has a scene with Wes. Where, like, if the amulet was meant for you, Angel, then you were supposed to be this weird non-ghost. But why would they want you like that if they're giving you the keys to Wolfram and Hart?
So I guess we should track that because Lila gave it to him, the amulet, courtesy of Cena Partners.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they clearly want him in charge. Like,
so
what's the deal?
This has been a way to just be like, never mind, take backsies. And then what would be the point of having him there for just a little bit? Like,
it's Ghost Angel, but like the rest of them are still working, and he's just like being a boss as a ghost.
I feel like it would be essentially the exact same, except for not having him as a fighter. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't do shit. Like,
he'll be very cranky. He'll still be very cranky.
Yeah. He's always cranky. So Wes speculates, like, maybe there's dissent amongst the partners, or there's another party we don't know about that did this, or they knew it would be Spike and wanted him in some way. Spike returns. He cannot leave, it turns out. He is bound to Wolfram and Hart. Every time he gets to the city limits, he pops back here.
And I'm curious, it's like, so is it just LA, or like, can he go to the Valley?
Yeah, that's
because we know on the show
question.
They go all around, so
he better be able to go to like the Los Angeles, like greater Los Angeles metro area. He's got to be able, like, can he go to Anaheim? Can Spike go to Disneyland if he wants?
WonderCon?
Can he go to Newport Beach? Can he go to the OC?
Perfect segue, because I didn't say. So while this was airing, we were leading up to the 2003 World Series, and which is very important, not because of the OC, but because of what it would lead to with the OC. Because during the 2003 World Series, Fox was promoting the hell out of their one-season series starring Olivia Wilde herself, Skin. Every other commercial during the World Series, you're hearing yelling, his father's the district attorney. You're hearing that, everyone. Of course, that show failed. I was seeing banners for Skin in my Boston Public season 4 rips too. So it's like, I'm like full Skin. And then show fails. So season 2 of the OC, guess who pops up because she's no longer the star of Skin? Olivia Wilde.
A cool lesbian.
Are we talking about Olivia Wilde or the character? Actually, it's a cool bisexual, not a cool lesbian.
She's bi? Oh,
yes, because
totally
she dates
forgot.
Seth first.
Oh, right. She does date Seth. My mind snipped that right out. no memory
He's so
of
fucking
that.
insufferable about it.
Yeah. Might as well not have dated her. I love it. Good to know. Then, unfortunately, Harmony is like, hey, Novak's back. And they're like, okay, send him in. And they do. He's in pails. He's
not impaled.
Now.
He's in pails.
He's in pails. Little metal pails. There's like 4 of them. He's all goop now. So obviously delivering this news to the client did not go well. Then at Harmony's desk, Angel tells Harmony, can you like keep this quiet, please? And I'm like, Harmony has already like aimed like 5 other assistants minimum. And be like, oh my God, he's in pails. Boss man freaking out. Extra angry today. I love her. I respect her. You have to be able to chat other assistants in the office or you will go nuts. Gunn has got Magnus's file and he's a sorcerer with old magic, with old money and older magic. And he's a big Wolfram and Hart shareholder. Also, he's a necromancer. That's why he likes having the dead bodies. A lot of dots are starting to get connected here. This doesn't seem
almost
like
you should look into your clients before you do things.
Yeah. Angel wants to talk to this guy. Wes advises against it. He's like, don't escalate the situation. Would you mind please not escalating the situation? And Angel's like, I'm going to go escalate the situation. But before he does, Gunn has an idea to hurt him. Bad. Dun, dun, dun. Then in the garage, Angel picks the black car, finally, and Spike is inside and has decided to drive him crazy. They are together, off to see the wizard.
What would happen if Angel just sat down where Spike was sitting down? I think Spike would get more annoyed, honestly.
I would do that every time. I'd sit in the same chair as Spike.
I think Spike would be more annoyed that he's not getting to him, honestly.
Yeah, like all you have to do is like be stone-faced and unemotional for like honestly about 18 hours and I think Spike would crack. And
Angel, we know you can do that, yeah. I guess, because Spike's his kryptonite when it comes to that, so.
Be beige at him.
Beige at him. Beige at him.
So
you want a taste of that angle.
Absolutely, yeah. Mr. Angle. So at the Hainsley estate, this guy is a snooty butler, so you know he's rich.
Where's the Grey Poupon?
Absolutely. Spike says my favorite line of his in this episode, which he's like, hi, I'm Angel from Wolfram and Hart. And Spike is just like, I'm his date. And I was like, okay.
Do you want to play the Bye for Borealis jingle?
Yes, please.
He's got a broody stare and hot spiky hair. If you're straight or gay, your tingly feelings don't care. You're just being honest about this sexy demonic in your Bye for Borealis. Bye for Borealis. Bye for Borealis.
I enjoyed that I could be like, bye for Borealis there, but also I wrote, this is the Spike show.
Yeah. But I enjoyed that. Felt like appropriately glib.
That 100% had to be in the trailer for this episode.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
After A.K. William Bloody.
A.K. William Bloody.
Listeners, do you find that as funny as we do? Because...
Please let us know because it makes me laugh.
They said, okay, print it.
They said, that's good.
That should be on TV. Yeah, multiple times and multiple promos.
Unreal. The boys notice a weird room of living dolls that seem to be like reanimated corpses that are currently like in stasis and not moving. And Angel's like, yeah, this is a showroom.
Mm-hmm. To show his clients what he can do.
Ooh. Then in some kind of like ceremonial room, we see some necromancy. There's a spooky demon has chosen a human body to go into, and Hainsley can like touch them both essentially and zoop one into the other.
Yeah, the necromancer, of course, played by character actor Victor Rader Wexler, who's been in a bunch of things, but most importantly, he played cranky old man in an episode of Reba.
Woo! Hell yes.
The most important part.
Oh, that makes me so happy. So he zoops this demon into this lady. The butler comes in and is like, "Oh, sir, you have a visitor." And so he's like, "Get rid of him." And he's like, "Of course, I will dispose of him, sir." And
what's the butler like? What's he like?
Well, he's like this, don't you see? He's the butler.
Okay, Bastiana.
It's very, very close to Bastiana. For the listeners, I was miming holding a little tray. So there was some space work going on as well.
Yeah, and there was some Grey Poupon on that tray.
There was Grey Poupon on the tray. And I also like adjusted my tie a lot to prove that I was fastidious. So then back in the showroom, Spike is jealous of like these dead people. He's like, they don't have to be like shoved back in their bodies and do all this shit. And I'm like, you actually don't know what happens to these people once they're necromanced. They might actually be going through something very similar. I imagine they would be. But he, you know, seems to kind of express like he wishes he could just be like normal dead, which write that in your Shanshi prophecies. The butler shows up and he's wielding some big knives, baby. He's gonna chop them up.
They should have said. Spike, Angel should have said, "I'm the boss of Wolferman Hart, not I'm from Wolferman Hart."
Yeah, he's got to learn. Angel grabs a spoon out of a nearby teacup from one of the dead bodies and hurls it at this man, and it embeds itself in his forehead and he kills him. And Spike doesn't like it. I thought it was cool.
What, Spike? You want him to throw a shoe?
Yeah. And truly, Angel's like, "Hey, I know that you like can't help me and don't like me, but could you like stop actively rooting against me while I'm fighting for my life? Thank you." But Spike is pissed. He sacrificed it all for love and good, and now he's this weird ghost thing. Why? Why should Angel get it all? And I'm like, Angel's not happy. Like, he doesn't have it all. He is, like, stuck in this weird place.
Yeah, Spike, maybe if you had a conversation with him instead of talking at him, maybe you'd realize. Or actually, no, don't say anything and just watch him, because then you would realize. Because obviously, Angel's not going to want to have a conversation with you, but clearly, he's not happy. He saw a bad dad, and he was like, "Oh, you think you could be a bad dad?" He just goes around.
I'm going to do it. Absolutely wild. Angel's pissed at Spike. He references like, you fucking like don't, because you don't care about atonement, because you only were like sad for like 3 weeks, and I atoned and was like miserable for 100 years. And Spike pops out of existence again, because I guess he doesn't like when valid arguments are presented to him. Then in the ritual room, Magnus tells Angel to show some dang respect. And he's like, well, the average demon can't afford my services, but the people who can, it's quite, a big, hefty toll. And also, as a necromancer, Angel doesn't seem to realize that Magnus has an upper hand here.
Yeah, is that what Wes is trying to tell him beforehand? It's like, you shouldn't go to a necromancer's house, but I guess we're supposed to hide the ball. It's a necromancer. Yeah. There's no hiding the ball on that.
He controls the dead. Angel's dead. So Magnus is able to
Harmony needed a count of who's dead and who's not.
Please. Magnus kind of, is able to freeze him and hold him. Spike is loving this. Magnus says he won't kill Angel because he doesn't want to piss off the senior partners. And he lets Angel go and is like, just kind of remember that I can do whatever the fuck I want. And then Angel makes a little call on his little cell phone and he says, "Gun, do it." And now this man's assets are frozen and his house is going to be foreclosed on in 10 minutes. How you like that, sir? Hitting him where it hurts.
How'd they freeze his assets? His lawyers, not his accountants. Or his money manager.
Well, I guess they sent his financial records to the IRS as well, which
you guys are bad lawyers.
Someone who was very curious at the IRS, maybe they were able to put a rush job on that kind of thing. But I also am skeptical about their abilities to do this. But it's fine. Angel leaves. We get a classic, "This isn't over," from our weekly bad guy. So this is how you know it isn't over.
Good, because it's underwhelming if it is.
Yeah. As they're walking out, Spike poofs out of existence again. He comes back in the ritual room, and Magnus talks to him and is like, "Come on, I have power over the dead, dude. Of course I could bring you back here." And he says, "I will offer you a corporeal body if you'll fuck with Angel for me." Spike's looking pretty pleased at that deal. Back in Angel's office, Angel wants to talk Spike with the gang. Yeah. He's like, "How do we get him out of here?"
Beforehand, Spike, before he poofed over to Magnus, it's like he was giving Angel shit. Like, "That's how you're going to fight evil now? Call the IRS, whatever." Mm-hmm. And Angel says, "Whatever it takes." It's like part of it also with all of Spike's complaints about Angel is that these are complaints you make later when it's clear that Angel has gone down the wrong end. It's not what you do up top.
Yeah, this is a first meeting, and Angel walked away the victor, having gotten licks in that mattered. That's how.
Would he have complained about Angel taking a helicopter in the last episode to go save a bunch of people?
I hope not, because that was cool. So, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't make sense. But Fred explains he cannot leave. Spike can't leave this place. He really is tethered here. I have to take a moment to say Fred's hair. Fred's boots. She's looking so cute. Amy, you look adorable. Wes is I don't know, there is one other option. I might be able to give Spike eternal rest. Yeesh. So Spike walks in the building. He sees Harmony. Harmony yells at him, "Fine, don't talk to me." And Spike is rather amused by this and is like, "What?"
I mean, I guess Spike is the reminder, much like humanity. It's just because they have a soul doesn't mean they're not an asshole.
Yeah.
He can't even show a little bit of contrition towards Harmony.
None whatsoever. And he was such a dick to her. She's like, "I thought your soul might have made you nice now, but I guess not." And he's like, "Yeah, I guess not." Spike walks towards Angel's office and starts to overhear the conversation they're having in there. They're like, "Wow, so I guess we can choose to kill him for real." And Fred doesn't like it. She thinks it's not the right thing to do. But Wes thinks it could potentially be the most merciful option. And Angel's like, "I love mercy. I've always loved mercy."
It's interesting because he is gung-ho about mercy, but then the rest of the scene, he is legitimately listening and trying to figure out if this is the thing to do.
Yeah,
he actually is thinking about this. Past the mercy.
Absolutely. And he is the amulet can be destroyed on hallowed ground, like a church or a graveyard. And, you should just have to smash it. And Angel's like, "Honestly, I want to sleep on this before I make a decision." And they leave the amulet on his desk, and they all go their separate ways. Angel goes home. Home is Wolfram and Hart now.
Yep, he lives in a little penthouse upstairs.
The corporate apartment decor was I was screaming. The little multicolored pots that are all the same.
I was like, yeah, there are a bunch of vases. I'm like, that's Angel.
Yeah, Angel loves a vase.
I remember his first apartment in Sunnydale.
I miss that tiny little room. Good stuff happened there. I kind of hate it. I just wish he was at the Hyperion, but I know there's not. This is a new era. We do new things. But it also is just
we don't like change.
We don't like change, but it's also just dude, you want a spot that is not owned by Wolfram and Hart. you want to have that. You must want to have that. Like, it's only smart to have a place where they can't reach you that's completely independent of them.
Yeah, because it's not like they're all living on the grounds.
Yeah, like I guess
it's just Angel.
Yeah, why is Angel? Oh, no, yeah. Oh, yeah, Wes still has his place. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I just thought that was odd. I did enjoy seeing him in silk pajama bottoms and nothing else, though.
I am like, where's like Fred living?
Where is Fred living? Did she get like a nice little... She should have moved into Cordy's place.
Yeah, I was saying she should have moved into Cordy's.
Yeah.
She loves Phantom Dennis.
Yeah, she and Dennis would get along, so I think it'd be perfect. In my mind, until established otherwise, that's what's happening.
You just changed the season, and that's what's happening. It's a great season.
I love it now. So,
and she and Gunnar are having a secret relationship off screen.
Woo! Spike shows up. Angel's like, please, like all you want during business hours, but I'm begging you to leave me alone.
The lead up to Spike shows up. Angel goes to bed. Angel is shirtless and goes to bed. Covers up. Spike is waiting in his bedroom.
If you think I didn't take screen caps of Spike looking out the window with a shirtless Angel in bed behind him, you don't know me.
Just Spike shows up. Come on now.
You're absolutely right. I yelled very loudly. But Angel is like, come on, like, I can't hit, like, don't bother me at home. And I'm like, your home is your work now. Like, that is bad work-life balance. Mm-hmm. He's like, Spike says, like, Angel, you must love, like, being up here and looking down on everyone from the top of the world. And, he sees Angel as a very superior figure, but I don't think that's what he's doing here.
I mean, yeah, he sees that. And, like, obviously, he wanted to, we know from flashbacks, he wanted to seem cool to Angel, but, like, this just outward jealousy nonstop is...
Yeah, and it's like, Angel, you really should just say, you sound jealous. Like, you'd never see Spike again. Spike would run away forever. He would let himself die if you just would say, you sound really jealous. I'm sorry to hear that. Like, jealousy is really, like, bad for your soul. Like, kill him with kindness, bitch. So Spike admits he heard them talking about him. And he, like, also says that the necromancer tried to make a deal with him. And Angel's like, and what did you say? And Spike's offended. Like, come on, I'm a good guy now. Like, I can't believe you'd even ask me that. And, like,
you've just
why
been
would
going
I trust
on and on
guy?
about how jealous you are this whole episode.
You've just been going... Yeah.
That's why the thing with Hainsley, it quote unquote works to trick us into thinking Spike would work with him, because they've just bitched him out the whole episode. They've sold out this character the whole episode.
Yes. So Angel's like, what do you want? And Spike says he wants it to end. And that is sad. Like, I feel bad. I don't want Spike to die. Just because I don't necessarily maybe want him on Angel doesn't mean I want him dead. We go to a cemetery. The boys are in a graveyard. I feel nostalgic. Spike has no interest in being a wisecracking ghost sidekick. And I'm like, well...
And yet, we've got a whole episode of it.
And I was like, I got news
that's
for
the
you,
show
buddy.
now.
The show is that now. Spike says it does feel right for it to be Angel who kills him, as his grandsire, circle of death and all. And Angel grabs some big cement urn to smash the amulet with, but he ends up smashing himself in the head repeatedly.
Dale!
Dale! Just rewatched Beetlejuice, and wow, masterpiece. Hainsley's doing it. It's all Hainsley. And he knocks Angel out, and he and Spike are cahooting. They are in cahoots. Back at Hainsley's ritual room, which he shouldn't be allowed in because he's supposed to be not allowed in that home anymore. Angel is showing a little slice of belly for some reason.
Belly window.
They cut his shirt up, like, from the belly button, so there's like a little like triangle of belly showing. And
for some reason, this episode wants to show off Boreanaz's body.
And I'll allow it.
Yeah, right.
I'll take it. I just was like,
I really
I don't
want to
know
make Spike jealous.
I'm like, I don't know what the functionality of that is, though. I guess he has to put his hand up in them guts, which I don't care for.
Strange choice for this episode.
I agree. Angel threatens him with the senior partners, like, you know, he was scared away by them the first time. Maybe it'll work again, but it doesn't. The evil plan is that Spike will go into Angel's body for a while. So Angel will appear to be alive, and he will do everything Magnus wants. And Spike, you know, is like, it's not like I have a choice.
Spike doesn't seem to know that all of Angel's friends have promised if he ever turns evil again, they will kill him.
Yeah.
So they're going to come charging at you with stakes.
Literally all of them would murder him so quickly, and like Angel would just be watching from heaven, like crying a single tear and being like, I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you so much for killing me.
So Angel in heaven. I just had like a silk pajama set in heaven.
I imagine him wearing those like terrible outfits the elders are always wearing on Charmed. Awful robes.
Awesome. He'd make it look good.
Yeah, he'd look great. And Spike's now he's gonna get everything he deserves. Everyone he deserves will be his. And maybe I'll have a go with that Fred. I don't care for this.
None of this is necessary for the plan that they have already made off screen.
It's just like to look evil, I guess, but I'm also just like, can we stop sexualizing Fred as a way to let us know people are bad? Like, it's like if someone hits on Fred, they're bad, which also is like this weird, like, purity, no one can touch our baby girl thing, but also everyone has to lust over our baby girl so we can know that they're bad and sex makes the people go away. I'm not happy with it. I quit.
Kristen, we both quit.
Anything you hear, if we continue to talk about the episode, that's not for you to use. You know, that's our own intellectual property.
See your ass in court.
Yeah. We have a very cool lawyer. His name's Charles Gunn. So Hainsley's like really excited. He's never done this with someone who was conscious before. It should be very painful. He plunges his hand into Angel's guts. It does look very painful, but something's wrong. Angel like gets up and starts fighting, and it turns out Spike, who had to go through Hainsley to get into Angel, and he just stayed in Hainsley. And now he and Hainsley are fighting for control of Hainsley's body.
Make that work.
Yeah.
There's no. It's just they write their way through it. They were like,
sure.
I don't. Yeah.
Might as well, right?
This was bad.
Angel kills Hainsley, and then he gets back up and keeps fighting him, and then he decapitates him, only to find out that after he killed him the first time, that was all Spike, who is just enjoying beating the shit out of him, which, I mean, like, it's cute, but okay, we get it. They don't like each other. Now that we've met Spike in Hainsley's body, that means it's time for Fuck Watch.
Fuck Watch.
Hey, LaToya, who are you fucking?
Oh. I am fucking Mr. Angel himself. I like him at bedtime.
You could not resist. Could not even wait more than two.
Of course not. You saw him.
Fair enough. Seeing a
fucking
little
shirtless to
sliver of
bed.
belly.
I like him at bedtime.
I do like him at bedtime as well. Well, you want to know who I'm fucking?
Who?
Harmony. Hey, baby. What's wrong? X got you down. Come here. Like, let me lend her a sympathetic ear and then a sympathetic mouth.
I thought you were going to say sympathetic tongue, and I was going to be furious.
No, I wouldn't. I would not be so vulgar. Yeah, like, girl, I'm here. Cry on this shoulder, and I'll, you know, I'll do my best. And that's Fuck Watch.
Flirting, understanding, consent, and kissing. Flirting, understanding, consent, and kissing. Fuck Watch.
The next day at Wolfram and Hart, all is somewhat well. Spike, Angel's like, Spike's not good at... What did I write here? Sharg? I'm sorry.
It's because Wes is Angel's telling him about how he and Spike came up with the idea, and Wes is like, it'd be great if he had sharing is what he's not good at.
Sharing. Sharg. Yeah, so he says he's not good at sharing, to which Harmony replies, preaching to the horse's mouth. Which is pretty good bit.
Love it.
At the lab in Fred's office, Spike shows up, surprises her, and she can immediately see that she's scared to see him there and be alone with him, but she can see that he's in pain. Fred has this moment, she's looking at him and she's like, can I help you? And Spike says, you're the smart one, right? You're the science queen. And, she's kind of no, Wes is the one who knows all about the occult. And he's like, no,
stop trying to dim your light, Fred.
Stop. And he's like, real shit. And she is so visibly scared of him, which I feel is really weird because we've proved he cannot do harm. Spike admits that he is slipping. He's trying to stay here. He doesn't want to go to hell. He's scared. And he asks for help.
So unlike Angel, he's not going to go to heaven to watch over them and love it that they kill his body.
No, he's like, I am going to hell. I'm very certain of it. And I don't want to be there, actually. And it's a nice moment after this whole... After really giving Marsters only one thing to play over and over and over and over again, it's nice to see him do the peel it back and be actually, I'm quite soft inside.
I mean, he is number 2 on the call sheet. It is his end for Hannah's show and no one else's, because as I noticed in the scene with Wesley beforehand, basically, if Spike had told them what's going on, that would make this show seem like an ensemble and not the buddy show it is. Again, the rest of them have no other plots. They have no plots in this episode.
It's a bummer. At least I understand that the first Spike episode would be Spike heavy, obviously. If you're bringing in someone new, you gotta you repiloted, and then honestly you have to repilot again and introduce this new member of your ensemble. But based on what you've told me, what I recall, it does seem to kind of just be the Angel and Spike show now, and I don't necessarily love that. Let me have Fred. Let me have Gunn. Let me have Wes.
Well, no, Fred's helping Spike, so that makes her useful.
Oh, right. If she helps Spike, she's good.
She's going to put another amulet under a microscope. Wait, no, that's Wes's job. Only Wes can do that.
I would never look at this amulet under a microscope. That's for Wes to do. That's for the real smart boys, not the goofy little girls just like me. But I don't know. I mean, I think there's stuff to enjoy here. I am looking forward to things progressing and seeing how everyone bounces off each other. I am hopeful to see more of our buddies.
Okay, you can be the optimistic one. I don't have to do that.
I'll be the I wasn't last year. I'll be the optimistic one this year.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. So while this wasn't my favorite, maybe good stuff can still be coming down the line. Now that we have reached the end of our ep, it is about that time that I ask you, now that all of Team Angel is, has dealt with yet another day at Wolfram and Hart, Spike's not doing good, is there anything you'd recommend them popping on the old WB?
Hit it, bitch.
Angel is a vampire. Does he even like TV?
I'm just going to suggest any episode of Angel and or Buffy with character development. Any episode of Angel that reminds me of this ensemble, specifically Angel and Spike's character development, you know. But yes, any episode of Angel that reminds us all that this is ensemble. Yeah. Just like, maybe let Spike know what the deal is here. It's like, you could be versus Angel, but also like, there are other characters here.
Yeah, I feel like Spike should get to know everyone else. They're all really cool. Like,
I think he would like Gunn.
I think he would like Gunn. I mean, he obviously already like has a soft spot for Fred because I think it's like impossible to not after like 5 seconds of knowing her.
We can't let him see anything with Weenie West because we have to see how he feels about cool Wes.
We should show him some like really sexy Wes, like Wes keeping Justine in the cage.
Yeah,
like Spike
he would
be
love
like,
him.
This is my kind of fucking guy.
But also him just
dude
like
rules.
Kidnapping Angel's baby. What? Angel, you had a baby? You had a child? Wes being like, what? I don't remember that as well.
What are you
really
talking
just completely fuck with everyone's minds.
And being like, Wes, I loved when you stole that baby, man. And Wes is like, what? Now that'd be some good shit.
That's what I want to see.
Yes, please.
Back to the drawing board for this episode, because that's what I want.
Yes, please. I think that's a great WB watch, a great suggestion for the gang. Now that we're rounded up, we're finishing up the old app. Any closing thoughts before we, I say our really smart, funny tagline and we get out of here?
No.
Hell yeah. Well, that has been our app. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can do so at Morgan Lutich. LaToya, where can the people find you and should they?
Especially not after this episode. Don't do it.
Don't do it. If you want to follow the show, you can follow us at Angel on Top Cast on Twitter and Instagram. You can go to angelontop.com to go on our Patreon, which is great. And we're doing live watches on there. We're doing the old Cole Turner cast. Heard of it? In terms of topical news for you guys, if you were listening to this the day it comes out, tomorrow is our Cole Turner cast live watch for Blinded by the White Lighter, which is a big anti-Leo ep that we'll be enjoying. So hopefully you like that sort of thing if you're listening to us.
And even if you don't like it and you're listening to us, come on anyway, because we're still pretty funny slamming on Leo, even if you like that doof.
We're pretty funny, and I guess someone's got to speak up for him, so if you want to do that in the chat, you can. And next week on November 10th, also at 6 p.m. PST, we will be watching Wrestling with Demons, guest starring the one, the only Ron fucking Perlman, and it's gonna rule super hard, so please join us. And we'll probably have a live watch on November 17th, and stay tuned and keep an eye out on socials and on Patreon for us to announce that.
Gotta get my Lindsay on.
Hell yeah, baby. Well, until next time, you are now leaving Wolfram and Hart. We do not validate.
Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life.
Gosh, people will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Burntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I uncover the blasphemous truth of a plague-ridden world, that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Burntwine, coming January 2nd, wherever podcasts are available.